how the best automakers go racing, how they do it right. Today on Shakedown. And to tell the story, I'm in Daytona for the Rolex 24 Endurance Race right now for the start of the sports car racing season in America. And because that digital thing can capture images and my soul, I can be in two places at once. This year, Drive is not with me at Daytona to do a 2013 version of last year's video, which I've parked in the links below, because that video, with interviews including Alan McNish and Jackie Stewart, and Drive's signature dramatic photography, hey, it only got 22,000 views, so congratulations, you non-viewers. So for Daytona 2013, no Drive camera person is with me. But my ears are to the ground, my eyes are looking around to get the news. So next week after the 24, we should have more. For this show, I was just going to do a straight-up preview of the Rolex 24, but a scan of the starting grid and other racing news out there tells me this show is best served as a look inside how certain car brands go racing, how you go racing if you want to do it right. And I'm going to use the 4 C's, commitment, capability, capacity, and character, as the benchmarks of success. Now, some brands have all the pieces. Some brands don't, but still do the best they can. And some brands, for whatever their reasons, lack the sense of what's needed to race. And in my opinion, when they go racing half-ass, show they lack a fundamental understanding about why you race. Wondering why I just used the Toyota for brands not committed to racing? Stay tuned. Find out which brands get it, which brands are still so far off course, they need Google Maps to find their way to an apex, let alone the racing checker flag. The 2013 Rolex 24 is the 51st Daytona 24 and the last one before the big consolidation of Grand Am with the American Le Mans Series in 2014, all of which will change the look, feel, and approach to the race. Or will it? Because when I looked at the 2013 starting grid, the signs of what's going on are already there. Factory racing, and that type of commitment, the first C. We saw a bit of it already emerge last year. And for some, it's too easy to dismiss Grand Am as private teams and gentlemen racers, and ALMS as factories and the pros, but neither is a 100% true definition of each. And Daytona 2013 tells us a lot of what's going to happen. Plus, looking at the recently completed Dakar Rally and Monte Carlo WRC and other racing news, we get a real insight into the brands committed to racing and how they do it right. But let's stick with sports car racing and start with the Daytona 24 starting grid. 58 cars entered, 17 are Daytona prototype, 5 BMW powered, 6 Ford, 6 Chevy Corvette. Now Ford won last year, but BMW officially supports their DP engine program. Well, they market it as official BMW stuff. And Chevy does too. Chevy won the 2012 Engine Manufacturers Championship. They expected a Daytona 24 win last year, and they're psycho to get it this time. So BMW and Chevy are taking a factory support approach to winning the Rolex 24, the 4 C's approach. Now Ford is depending on Roush, the engine builder racing team, to build stout motors, but they're not as full in as Chevy is yet, because there is an EcoBoost twin-turbo Ford V6 waiting to launch in 2014 when the series combines and Daytona prototypes run in the same class with the faster LMP2 race cars. But it is GT where the factory racing gloves are really coming off, and a Grand Am class that used to be private team tube frame cars with clapped-on American muscle bodywork has morphed into an international sports car battleground with heavy-duty manufacturer action. 35 GT cars, 18 Porsche, 7 Ferrari, 4 Audi, 2 BMW. Oh, and the other 4 cars, the old school Grand Am GT stuff. Private teams running an old Viper, an old Mazda, a Corvette, and a Camaro. But here's what's caught my attention, and should yours. Like ALMS, where the brands are big time supporting their GT teams or flat out fielding factory race teams, guess what's going on in GT in 2013 at Daytona? Every brand has shipped over factory drivers to get their cars to the front and thrown more support, tech and otherwise, at them. Ferrari has done so and got the other brands' attention. This number 61 Ferrari seems to be the lead car in their team, with a heavy-duty team of factory drivers, Fisichella, Villander, Pappas, and Jeff Siegel. But typical Ferrari, who looks at their sports cars after they look at their F1 support, they're not 100% behind this GT program. It's Audi that's raised the game with their level of support, the dollars, tech, and more to get its cars on the grid and to the front. Rumor is those cars are loaned to the teams. No one's bought anything. Hey, you know, Hertz has a cool program where you can rent cars from their prestige collection. So may I reserve a race car, Hertz? back to Audi, who knows how to race right. They've got the commitment, capability, capacity, and character. You can check all 4 boxes here for Audi. This is more like the support we saw at the Spa 24. So for Daytona, this is the start of a factory-supported effort, just like the Spa winning car from Audi. And as you'll see when our Spa 24 video finally breaks cover in the next few weeks. Back at Daytona, the R8 Audis, number 24, number 13, oh my God, and number 52, they look strong and potential race winners. Not that Porsche is sitting around awestruck. Watch for the race win defending Magnus car and the Brumos 911, among all of the other 18 Porsches that are going to be attacking Daytona. Segue to the Dakar Rally, where Mini proved their commitment to racing with a win and 3 of the top 4 spots in the car category. Stefan Peter Hansel and Jean-Paul Cottret led the Mini All-4 team. 8,574 kilometers of tough terrain, wild weather, flooding, and Peter Hansel's 11 Dakar win. Why Dakar works for the Mini brand, why Mini needs to be bigger, 4-wheel drive and running around off-road and in the desert still confuses me, but hey, the BMW-backed brand is committed to success. They have the 4 Cs nailed. And at the Monte Carlo WRC, while Sebastian Loeb won his 7th, even though he's retired, he's running only 4 WRC events in 2013, it was Sebastian Ogier who brought the VW Polo R home 2nd, even while VW sheepishly terms their first-generation WRC car conservative in design. And it already seems apparent when VW goes racing, there's no effing around. The 4 Cs, again, are in place at Volkswagen Motorsport. And I understand there will be a VW announcement at Daytona about US VW racing, so stay tuned. Which gets us to ALMS and the American racing in Sebring, the 12-hour event, which will be March 16th. And the race is no longer a world endurance event. It's just an ALMS standalone, but it is still a great shakedown for the Le Mans 24. And this is the last time Sebring runs as an ALMS event before that merger with Grand Am in 2014, which, if you follow the news of the 2014 racing classes, it means no LMP1 category in 2014. So Audi announced its commitment to race 2 Audi R18 e-tron Quattros in the 2013 Sebring 12. Bang. The factory team is coming over with 1 2012 e-tron spec and 1 new 2013 spec to do A/B comparison evaluations. Then they're staying on to test for another 12 hours, and we've been invited to stay too, so stay tuned for that. Here is last year's R18, and here's the new 2013 version with new aero, a rumored new bigger turbo system, and knowing Audi, improvement tweaks all around, and their version of the Toyota rear wing. Now, not to sound all JF deifying Audi, but here's why it's mindlessly easy as a race fan to respect Audi. Follow me here, please. Number 1. So Toyota shows up in 2012, wins races, and challenges Audi for WEC dominance. Noted. Number 2, Porsche announces they are coming back to LMP1 racing with all their heritage, expertise, technology, and whatever. Audi says, I got it. Number 3, Grand Am and ALMS finally get the US sports car racing house in order to create a defined single platform. Oh, and WEC parks a race in the US, in Austin at Circuit of the Americas. So both are good news because the US is an important market to Audi. So what does Audi do with all this data? Well, since they live and love the 4 Cs, Audi increases their commitment to the challenges and opportunities. 2 R18 cars racing in Sebring because the race and testing are the right things to do to win the WEC and Le Mans. And for Grand Am, Audi steps up its commitment to R8 to get real race teams on track. And not just for 2013, but to be ready for the new 2014 ALMS Grand Am Combined Series. And to complete their utter commitment to be the sports car racing god, no matter what Porsche says, thinks, or does, well, rumor is they're also investing in building a GTE version of the R8 LMS Ultra to go head-to-head in the premier GT racing class. Because in the series merger, the LMS GTE class will be ahead of, on top of the GT category. The Grand Am GTs will be slower in Pro-Am drivers only. Audi to GTE, Corvette, we may need a race car that does more than just look European. And listen to this. By comparison to how Audi races, which by now, if you haven't gotten my message, is Audi is the poster child for a brand that races right. Commitment, capability, capacity, and character. Let's use Toyota as the offset example. They, after showing us the marvelous TS030 that led the Le Mans 24, won multiple races in the World Endurance Championship, excited Toyota fans and non-Toyota loyalists, reinforced Toyota's hybrid tech leadership, blah, blah, freaking blah, all in their first year, and by any definition, a great success. What does Toyota do in year 2 with the program? They cut it back to one car, only one car in the WEC in 2013, and probably not coming to Sebring to test or race or anything. And it's Toyota, so I still assume it's not about money. That's right, it's Toyota and racing, where, based on their past history, I question their true commitment to the 4 Cs and winning, even with a CEO that has his own driver's suit. Some brands get it, some don't. Audi gets it, Porsche gets it, VW gets it, and Chevy, I must say, who won in every category they raced in 2012, maybe I need to cut them some slack and admit that they get it. In contrast, Lotus does not. The Lotus Evora ALMS car will not be back this year, and Alex Job, who ran the car, finally admitted he got no support from Lotus. Hyundai in the US, I'm not sure they get it, and I'm not sure Ford gets it like they did in the old days. Aston Martin announced a new partnership program with TRG, the US racing team, and the talk is huge about race cars in the ALMS GTE class, Grand Am GT class, a spec series for all Aston Martins, and DP Motors, and Jesus Christ, why not have an Aston Martin blimp for the TV broadcasts? But until I see it's all real, it's all vaporware, hopes and luck, none of which has anything to do with the 4 Cs of racing success, so I'm not sure Aston gets it. Okay, I'm off to another meeting in Daytona. Tell me what you think about racing brands that get it and those that don't. And my suggestion is that you measure their success by commitment, capability, capacity, and character. And by the way, you can pick boyfriends and girlfriends with the same criteria. Hi, wifey wife.